please remember to leave a like, a comment, share the video about, and if you haven't already, subscribe. Thank you. Well, isn't this just fantastic?
I'm not a cuck.
So over the weekend, Mutahar was trending. Mutahar was trending because Mutahar had finally got round to dropping, after much wait, understandably so, a video on Keffals, Tipster's waifu. While the video took a long time to produce, the video was, to be honest, worth the wait. And rather amusingly, it did lead to some consequences. Not necessarily in the negative for Mutahar though. No, but for those who desperately wanted to be heard as if they were in some manner being silenced, in the form of Keffals, Tipster's waifu, and of course, Lardass himself. We are going to in this video go through some of those responses, some of those perspectives, and insert what we believe to be the correct response. Now, the very first thing that became the hook, the latched on problem, the tunnel vision obsession, was actually the thumbnail. The thumbnail was made by Just a Worm Art, who on Twitter confirmed, yes, Mutahar hired me to make Keffals art. It was a last minute commission I drew in one night. It's not more complicated than that. I draw everyone sweaty and gross. It's my stupid shtick. Here's an updated thumbnail so everyone is getting roasted, including an updated version of Mutahar looking, yes, like absolute shit, quite frankly. Now, as far as I'm concerned, if you're going to make a video criticizing somebody, you don't want them to look their best, do you? It's why many people hire, those who do documentary videos especially, they hire someone to find the art needed and pervert the living crap out of it to make them look as deranged as possible. In this, they make Keffals look a bit more masculine, and they make Keffals look like a junkie. That's what I think when I see this. A C-list version of the Addams Family. It's a good piece of art, to be honest, and did its job well. So, responses to the thumbnail, to the video why Keffals is a complete fraud. Keffals, I understand people have criticisms of me. I don't think I'm above being critiqued. That said, was it really necessary to use a transphobic caricature of me in the thumbnail while also not using my pronouns in the video announcement? Quick thing, your pronouns in the video announcement are not as unique as that is your name, Keffals. Therefore, Keffals is what you are more known for, therefore it is probably better to use that instead. Right. Second, a transphobic caricature. Caricatures are an exaggeration of something. In this case, drug use. You are very pale, therefore you are made to look pale. The artistic style is quite good, but you're only interested in seeing the negative, not realizing that that's kind of part of the point. Keffals, though, wasn't done. I think if my actions themselves are heinous, you wouldn't need to dehumanize me to an audience of millions of people in order to make the points you wanted to make. The bar for this was incredibly low, and Mutahar managed to still fumble it. Anyways, I'm probably going to get harassed by thousands of people for standing up for myself now, so I'm gonna go do something fun instead of that. See you all when it dies down. There were some that did in fact support Keffals on this. Anti-X, I don't know how to say this without sounding a little SJW, but I'm really not a fan of this caricature of a trans woman. Retweeted by Tipster, because he's a good little simp. She's still not going to give you a blowy tippy. She wouldn't be able to find it anyway. Chris the Nazi Narc did, in a thread with all those images, point out that Keffals lied to everyone about the donos, and this should in turn be garnished like child support to pay back the 100,000 she stole from her fans. The image included reads, editing and video production. Feels really bad watching the GoFundMe deplete. The rest will cover a year rent and my psych fees if I talk to a psychologist once a week for the next 11 months. Ellen tried to comfort me, reminding me it was an emergency fund. Arif, Ellen's right, but I definitely understand that feeling. Whenever I've had a windfall that I wasn't originally planning on having, I still felt bad when I accepted. Keffals, I keep trying to think how it depleted so fast, and it's just so many little things. Travel, replacing furniture, helping my friends out, buying new streaming gear and clothes. If anyone ever finds out how I spent the GoFundMe, I'm definitely getting cancelled. LOL. Sorry about venting. Still heading to Dingle.
I'm not a cuck.
And you should be absolutely cancelled for that. To me, I think of it like a form of embezzlement, fraud. But then that's pretty much Keffals' shtick as well, being a fraud. Much like Tipster. We'll get to him soon, don't worry. Now, when Mutahar tweeted out the original thumbnail and his tweet on the subject, he did get some negativity saying that this is bad. You did enough research for an hour plus a video and couldn't find anything other than a disgusting caricature. You said multiple times talking to other people in the lead up to the video you have had to be careful talking about. One of two. I don't see the second one. Where's the second one? You know what? One of two. Apparently that's it. Now Keffals' accusation of not having gender respected comes from a position of I haven't watched the video from Mutahar at all. If you'd watched the video, Mutahar was very careful in how directly addressing Keffals, using pronouns at every opportunity. Some references to the word they were not used in the context of a gender pronoun but used in the context of a completed sodding sentence. This was referenced by Bo Blacks, who said Mutahar respected her gender identity, she is out of excuses. And she is out of excuses. There is very little left that Keffals can play. Now I'm going to insert Tipster here, because some people have been willing to reach out to him to try and get him to do what is right for him. Cherry, I wish you would ditch Keffals is how I feel about you. Tipster, that's not going to happen, Cherry, I hope you understand that. Cherry, even if she that worded someone, I assume there are some scenarios where you would ditch or cheated on her wife with e-girls but actually did. Tipster, that's one of those things that I would tackle if that happened. I don't like to think of my friends in hypotheticals like that. The same applies to you and my other friends, by the way, not just her. Now my view is, Tipster is now stuck. He knows this. He knows he's screwed. He has no way out because he has dug his heels in, because he doesn't want to be wrong. Well, you are wrong. You've been wrong for far too long. You need to grow the fuck up and stop being such a man-child. A big fat man-boobed man-child. You've decided to align your entire life and creativity around somebody who ditched you at the first opportunity anyway, because you dug your heels in on Lolly as well. Your poor decisions have come back to bite you on the ass.
I'm not a cuck.
The same person you are backing has blown over 100 grand from a GoFundMe frivolously, instead of using it for the intended purpose. More criticisms of Tipster, but others that have perspectives on Mutahar's video. Beautiful May. Mutahar's entire video is going to be using Kiwi Farm sources to do a guilt by association takedown of Keffals, holding her responsible for everything DIY HRT. Retweeted by Beautiful. I effing called it. Tipster retweeted that and also replied, yup. This tells me you really didn't watch the video. I highly recommend everyone that watches this watch that as well. Context is vitally important. In fact, the only source I'm going to put in a pinned comment beyond, not worth a cork, will be Mutahar's video. I highly recommend everyone go and watch it. You need to be able to make your own informed decision up on something regardless of what I say on the matter. I've watched the video and I've made my mind up. Tipster and Keffals are fucking morons. Simple as that. But when people fob it off with these kind of poor argumentations, they do it because they deflect from the reality, because they can't accept it. It should be pointed out, Keffals is a hypocrite when it comes to thumbnail art usage. They themselves in the past, and I'm not going to show it because I'll get a strike from YouTube for over-sexualized content, have exaggerated their chesticles to make themselves look better when it suited them. They've also used similar art on Vosh on the Keffals Live channel. Leg to stand on you do not have. That was from the 23rd of February this year, and it was made, the image of Vosh was made by the very person who tweeted this contradiction out. So if you want to be disingenuous, continue, but it's okay, don't worry, Tipster will swoop in to save the day for you soon, I'm sure. Him, his gunt, and both his chins. We may as well keep Tipster in the conversation for a second. He got very happy when Schizo Bailey had found that they were blocked by Turkey Tom. Trust me, nothing of value was lost. Tipster also replied to Demi Gloom, who had said, life gets better when you quit breadtube drama. Tipster, let me fix that for you. Life gets better when you quit drama, period. This would be applicable if you can keep your sodding fat ass out of drama. But apparently you are incapable because you are a moth to a flame. Since we have Turkey Tom in the discussion, Turkey Tom had actually replied to Keffals with the I understand criticisms subject, right, by saying, you're ugly, that's all. They then got blocked. Tom then said, Keffals blocked me for posting this, but I will not be denied my Twitter engagement, so here you go. Well, we gotta make sure we make that money off that Twitter, right? Yes. Now, because others have been scorned in this entire situation, I'm going to insert them as well. Xylee gets real. Hey, Tipster, I remember you telling me that you talked to Queen Clara about everything, and she explained a lot to you. What exactly did she explain? Did she actually tell you the truth about what she did with the money, or did she BS you too? Because if she told you everything, damn dude, how does it feel to be on the wrong side? How does it feel that you literally poop all over what would be your friends for a piece of poop like her? Stay gone, bro. You are most definitely not allowed back in the house. Nick Diorio memed Tipster by saying,
"Stand down, homie. Nobody exposes Keffals."
Because once Keffals lights the beacon to go to war, Tubbs answers the call.
I'm not a cuck.
He will fly into battle aloft his mighty soundboard. Oh, and because I need to point this out quickly, where Keffals has accused Mutahar of being transphobic and others have pounced on this as well with pronoun accusations, this is a tweet from Keffals from 2022. My pronouns are she, her, or they, them. This is very important because Mutahar uses all 4 of those words in his video. Therefore, he never got it wrong in the first place. You'd know this if you'd watched the video. You could turn the captions on if you like. You'll find they're still there as well. By the way, and this is quite amusing as well, Reddit are also a bit on the special side when it comes to interpretation of art, because apparently it's impossible to draw someone who's trans and sweaty at the same time without making them look like they're fat and greasy, sweaty, ugly, bad makeup, you know, the usual, which can all be associated to men. I wonder why. Stone Toss Comics had retweeted Mutahar's original tweet of the video. This was retweeted, an image of it anyway, I guess it's subtweeting, by Tipster. Congrats Mutahar, a literal Nazi retweeted you must be so proud. Retweeted by a literal Nazi. When you are such a lolcow, people will make accounts just to pwn you. It's quite something. I have no doubt in my mind though you would have blocked a literal Nazi the moment you found out this had happened to you. Achievements unlocks, I guess, they're tippy poo. Now this is the part where we're going to insert something quite fascinating concerning Tipster. He recently complained he was shadow banned because his views were just going down the drain. My view was, keep doing your job and you'll be fine. You went to YouTube support, they couldn't help you. Turns out, you're not helping yourself either. You've done a foodie beauty. You're both about the same size. You deleted 24 million views off of your YouTube channel. Your daily views aren't great, I'll give you that. But this is catastrophic. I mention this because I have copies of all your lolly defending videos.
But it's gotten to the point where people started digging into like old tweets of theirs and stuff like that to find some reason to cancel them. And the latest thing is that apparently Chris Tyson is a because he made some edgy jokes about lolly and kids.
The internet is forever, Tipster. You killed your own channel by doing this, by the way, because your videos no longer show up when you type the name Tipster into YouTube. In fact, most videos that show up now are videos going in on you. Your best chance, as pointed out by Nerdy John, is to make a new channel and start over if this matters so much to you. But knowing you, you're going to be like Foodie Beauty, impulsive, reckless, prideful, arrogant, and so full of yourself you cannot bother to get your head out of your rather rotund arsehole long enough to do what is right and best for you as a creator. You built your channel to the point it got to 100k from YouTube drama.
I'm not a cuck.
Then you turned your back on it and decided to go in on those that were friends with you. And then you associated with someone who is at this point absolute poison. Now it is my firm belief that things are starting to shift a bit within the supporter base for Keffals and what little support remains for Tipster. Demon Mama, what a sad, disappointing and infuriating juncture we find ourselves at. All I want to say about this subject at the moment is that AtaraxiA is very thorough and honest. Her thread on Keffals is leagues ahead of the rest of the current dialogue we will discuss on stream soon. They went on for a long ass time when they streamed this. And the thread from Sun Cult Priestess or AtaraxiA is incredibly long. And I'm not joking, this is a thread that I would consider a nuke. It shows that from the position of someone who once trusted and supported Keffals, how much Keffals deceived and hurt them. And I will tomorrow go through that entire sodding thread because it's worth going through all of it. A small consequence that needs to be addressed, Just a Worm Art has since deleted their Twitter account or disabled for the time being because they have received a considerable amount of flack for the artwork they did for Mutahar's video. Some people celebrating it, which is a bit tragic really. Some who had been reached out to for the video that Mutahar did posted the DM that Mutahar had actually sent to them to try and make it seem like Mutahar hadn't reached out at all. But they got done in by a community note that pointed out that this is by definition reaching out. Mutahar himself retweeted Bad Empanada, you can always tag me, that's my real and only Insta account. The platform only allows you to send one message before forcing you to wait for a response. I'm not going to make a burner just to keep reaching out constantly, which he's right. He shouldn't have to. And in this area of the internet, a lot of what we do is time sensitive. We don't expect nor demand you to reply to us. But if we are going to make the videos we want to make to cover the subjects we want to cover, time is a vital commodity in this. So one last tweet before I get to what I consider the correct response to the entire situation. Xylee again, because honestly they're on point here. Dear Tipster, I remember you saying that you didn't like the dogpiling that happened in the commentary community. You have said all the time the commentary community is toxic.
What the F do you think your community is? You all are literally labeling people transphobic for thumbnails and criticism.
And we are the toxic ones? Sounds like to me you went to an even more toxic part of the internet. You talked good game, but you honestly don't give a fuck about anyone but yourself and who you can be accepted by. F you. I started this video by saying there was a correct response. It's going to come from someone you're not going to like, because many people for years have memed this person to high hell. They have used him on thumbnails all the time to make him look like crap all the time.
I have had a million Keemstar exposed videos made on me throughout the years. And when they use a picture of me for the thumbnail, it's never flattering. And am I complaining about that? No. I'm trying to just make the point that if you're gonna make a video criticizing someone, you don't try to make that person you're criticizing look as good as possible. Duh. That is common sense. Well, Mutahar, some ordinary gamers, uploaded a video on Keffals with a drawing of her that made her look extra ugly. And her response is, you're being transphobic because you're making me look ugly. What? What? This is not a trans issue. You're being criticized. So obviously, the picture of you in the thumbnail is never going to be flattering. Whether you're a girl, a guy, a trans, or a Apache helicopter.
You may not like what he just said, but he is correct on the nature of this game. And YouTube is a game. We all want to get as much as we can out of it because we know it is there to be milked. There's an aspect of this where we care, sure, but there's always an aspect of this as a business where we have to protect our business first. And to do that, we know that most people are going to click on something where the person we're criticizing looks like trash. That thumbnail was catchy, and the artist did a banging job.
I'm not a cuck. I'm not a cuck. I'm not a cuck.